when I was a kid, we were very poor. Now, when I say very poor, I mean like we were really poor. We lived in a ghetto. It was pretty rough. There was, I can remember the first house that I lived in after I left home was on a place called Sussex Street. And I remember how many mice there were. I had that, you know, that decorative pampas grass? Well, we had that, and mice would run up and down it. There were mice everywhere. I remember one night getting up in the middle of the night and going into the kitchen to get a drink of water, and when I got into the kitchen and flipped on the light, it was like the floor was black, and it cleared as all these mice ran off. So needless to say, there was a little bit of a rodent problem. Now, like most people in that situation, you know, I wanted to get rid of the mice. I wanted to find out how to get rid of the mice. And, you know, I went down to the hardware store or somewhere similar to see what I could find that would be helpful for getting rid of these mice. And of course, you know, the guy in the store sold me a mousetrap, as you do. So I've got this mousetrap and I'm trying to figure out how to set it and what to do with it, working out if it's going to work and how to do it. So I put the mousetrap down, and of course you got to put some kind of bait on the mousetrap, right? So what mousetrap am I going to put on there? On that mousetrap, what am I going to put on? Well, I put on cheese, you know, because I've seen every cartoon that you've seen, and apparently cheese is what you put on a mousetrap if you want to catch a mouse. There's only one problem with that. And the problem with it is this. Generally speaking, mice are not particularly attracted to cheese. Now, that's not saying that all mice won't eat cheese. Of course they will. But only a few mice will actually go for cheese. There are other things that they much prefer over cheese. There are things that they'd much prefer to have. But, of course, I put cheese on my trap. And now remember, with all those mice that there was there, the next morning I got up and guess what I had? I had a mousetrap, and caught in the mousetrap was what? You guessed it, cheese. Nothing else, just cheese. So I was using bait, I was using something to attract a mouse that a mouse wasn't particularly interested in. I find this a fascinating metaphor for the work that I do when I go in and work with a CEO who is trying to develop, or a leadership team who are trying to develop loyalty when working with millennials, when they're trying to keep that team of millennials. What they find is that they're offering them all kinds of great things to try, hoping that that's going to keep them loyal, and invariably it doesn't work. What they're offering them doesn't work, and so they come to me and they say, well, you know, we can't keep these millennials. They don't want to stick around. They're not very loyal. You know, they want to change jobs. They want to be lifted up. They want promotions, and yet they won't actually take the money. Like, I'm offering them a better job. I offered them a better job. I offered them a raise. I even offered them more money, and they've left me now and gone to work for this other guy, this other place. And I don't even think they're getting paid as much as they were getting paid here. What can we do about it, Dov? What's wrong with these millennials? What's wrong with them, in your terms of when you say what's wrong with them, what's wrong with them is that you're using the wrong bait. If you're using cheese and they don't really want cheese, it just doesn't work. You're wasting your time. So what is cheese in this sense? Well, cheese is the money you're offering them that they don't really care about. They're not really that interested in the money. There's something that's far more powerful for them that attracts them and keeps them loyal to you. What is it? What is it that actually works? What is it that will actually keep them loyal to you? Well, there are certain things that really drive millennial loyalty. And the first of those is autonomy. The opportunity to do things themselves, the sense that they don't have to wait for you. Autonomy means that they have a sense of their own power, their own influence, that they can make their own difference, that they don't have to wait for permission to do something. They want their own time and they want autonomy. They want to be free. So you want to keep millennials loyal, you got to give them an opportunity to be freer. You see, and again, the problem with that is that if you're a baby boomer or if you are a Gen Xer, you probably have this equation in your head, and the equation goes like this, that money equals freedom. Therefore, if you are talking to a millennial and you say, what do you want? And say, I want to be free, then you offer them more money. Wrong cheese. Freedom to them is not money. Freedom is time. You see, as Gen Xers and baby boomers, we thought that money would give us freedom. And so we try to do this crazy thing called work-life balance. Well, millennials understand there's no such thing. There is your life in which you work. And so the balance is in actually having the freedom to do it when you want to do it, which means that they may be willing to work from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. They may not want to work 8 to 5 in your office. They want autonomy. So again, one of my thoughts to you is this. If you're looking to get loyalty from a millennial, whether that's an employee, whether that's a team member, or even whether that is somebody who is a customer, think about offering them the cheese that works, the cheese that will really attract them. And one of those cheeses that will really work with them is autonomy. Hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you found value in it, and if you did, make sure you share it with others and leave me your feedback below. I always look forward to seeing what it is that you've put. And tell me about an experience where you tried to win somebody over with a cheese that didn't work, where you offered them some kind of reward, something that you thought was going to really make it work for them, but it didn't. All right? Till next time, this is Dov Baron, FullMontyLeadership.com. And as always, stay curious, my friends. Stay curious.